Hey guys, so I tell like it is, Nationals, Cubs, the Nationals come back, the Braves collapse, Bryce Harper's scripted performance on Labor Day with 3 RBIs, a game-tying 2-run home run. The score was 3-1, St. Louis over Washington, 3-1. Bryce Harper makes it 3-3 with his 31st home run, his 85th RBI, tied the game, and I believe his 86th RBI ended up winning them the game. So once again, I've said before, the Atlanta Braves, this is their 53rd season in Atlanta, their 148th season overall. This lines up with Bryce Harper's gematria and what I think he was meant to do with the Washington Nationals. Because it is Bryce Almighty that equals 148 and 67. It is Braves that equals 67. This is Atlanta's 148th season, 147 prior. This is why Atlanta is a World Series contender this year. But notice how World Series in Pythagorean gematria equals 57. The amount of time from Labor Day, to the start of the World Series is a time span, believe it or not, of 57 days. So the amount of time from Labor Day to the end of the World Series, I meant to say. I've always predicted the World Series was going to end on the 29th day. The stock market crash of 29 in the coming narrative of what we think is a booming economy, but really what people who don't know economics don't realize is that it's only a bubble that has been created, and the stock market is really not reflecting of the whole economy as a whole. So a bubble has been created, and a crash is going to suddenly come out of nowhere, especially for those who lean on the right side and want to root for the sports team, the GOP. That whole mindset's really a big joke. 57 days from September the 3rd to October the 29th. The stock market crash of 19 also equals 127 in gematria. This Bryce Harper home run gives the Nationals some life. Even when they were down 6 runs in the 9th inning, they had the tying run up at the plate last night. The characteristics really don't seem to point towards the Nationals, mailing in the season. They're going to fight until the very end. And that's what the recent performances from the Nationals indicate. 57 days from that game-winning home run to the start of the World Series, to the end of the World Series, rather, I should say. But the amount of time from Labor Day to the start of the World Series is 51 days. 50, when you do not include the end date, it is Donald, it is America that equals 50. Inauguration, January the 20th. It's 51 when you include the end date. Well, what equals 51 in gematria? It is Braves collapse. So up here, Braves collapse equals 51. And there are a lot more clues to break down over the course of the video. It is President Donald J. Trump that equals 96. Knowledge equals 96. He is a Freemason. It is Freemason that equals 96 on 9-6. It is the Nationals that will play the Cubs at home. They should have won the Sunday night baseball game against the Cubs, but they gave up a game-winning grand slam with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Then they were leading the Cubs 3-1. They blew that game too. So the Nationals, they need to take their game controller, and turn off the collapse mode when they play at home in this big series against the Cubs. This one is a lock for the Nationals to win today, to be behind 6.5 games. When you look at Bryce Harper's first name and what the scripted 53rd season is all about for Atlanta. It is Bryce. It is comeback that equals 53 and 26. The Washington Nationals comeback. The Atlanta Braves second half collapse. This was easy. This was easy here. They were definitely going to get swept by the Boston Red Sox. Now they have to travel to the Arizona Diamondbacks, who will have to keep up with the Rockies and the Dodgers at home. Arizona for the win, no doubt about it. So here, what is significant about the Atlanta Braves' second half collapse and the Washington Nationals' comeback equaling 123 in gematria has to do with a particular date duration. And I will show you in a minute. So here, the amount of time from the start of Nationals Cubs to the end of the World Series is 53 days. It is Bryce. It is comeback that equals 53. 1 month and 23 days from Cubs Nationals to the end of the World Series. This is what these 123 phrases are signalizing right here. Also, keep an eye out for Indianapolis in this football season and the crazy turn of events in the sports world, almost like 2016. When Harper tied the game with his 85th RBIs, the Atlanta Braves collapsed. Boston equals 85. Red Sox equals 85. A lot of 85 here. It's no coincidence. It has to do with Bryce Harper's 85th RBIs on Labor Day. It has to do with a lot more. Because simply enough, the amount of time from Donald Trump's birthday to the start of Nationals Cubs is 85 days. You know, this collapse is official now that the Atlanta Braves blew a 7-1 lead against the Boston Red Sox. You are seeing rigged and you are seeing scripted sporting events by the numbers right in front of your own eyes and right in front through the Gematrinator and the art of Kabbalah. Because when you do not include the end day from Donald Trump's birthday to October the 29th, is it the October 29th here? Let me go check again. No, September the 6th, right, September the 6th. It's 84 days. United States of America equals 84, right? Trump, America, or it's Donald in America that equal 50, as I said before. The Braves collapse here, equaling 66 in gematria. What is the significance of that? Well, here, when you do not include the end day from today's day to the start of the World Series, it is 6 weeks and 6 days. It is Donald Trump. It is the Nationals that equals 48 in gematria. This is what today's series is all about. There are 48 prior teams that won the National League. Manager Dave Martinez of the Nationals was their bench coach when they won the World Series. Dave Martinez is 53 years of age that is lining up with the comeback. Now, it is Washington that can become the 49th team to win the World Series. Washington, revelation, you know, they're going to win their 70th game today. 70 wins equals 49 in gematria. Check out revelation here. Revelation has to do with Donald Trump and what's going to come in America in 2019. Donald John Trump, stock market crash, on record, saying that he didn't mind the real estate bubble. He hopes that the market is going to tank in 2006, right? The Washington Nationals won the World Series in the past tense is really revealing in who's the president right now. You cannot count this out. In reverse reduction, the Washington Nationals won the World Series equals 211. This has everything to do with the bubble economy, in my opinion, the Trump economy, tax breaks for the rich, and many other references I have broken down equal 211. It is not by coincidence. It is by knowledge through the Kabbalah. The Diamondbacks have 75 wins today. They're off. If they sweep the Braves in all 4 games, they would win their 79th game. It is champion that equals 79. Are we talking about the NFC or the NL West, or are we talking about what's going to happen in the World Series? So here, funny enough, 76, 77, 78, and 79 here. The Dbacks win their next 4 games at home. You know, if that happens, if the Braves remain at, or rather the Dbacks remain at 64 losses after the end of the Atlanta series, it's worth noting that the Nationals 1 equals 64, Nationals 1 equals 49. This could be referencing the 49th National League team to win the World Series. It is Nationals, it is collapsed. That equals 33. We're talking about Atlanta, right? All of this is super significant because the Nationals have played 139 games up to this point. It is Freemasonry that equals 139. It is Washington, D.C. that equals the 33rd prime. The U.S., founded by Freemasons, Masonry, federal government, federal equals 33. The Nationals equals 33. So that's what is happening here. I think the Cubs lose today. I think the NL Central is going to get close, so fans are interested in all these close divisions, since the MLB is a business that has antitrust exemptions. They enter with 33 away losses to the Nationals. You know, this could end up being 37 here. 37 has to do with Steven Strasburg and his return, his injury on June the 8th, 6-8, the perfect championship gematria. If the Cubs lose their 58th game, they lose all 4 games for their 62nd loss. Well, their 62nd loss can occur at the nation's capital. In gematria, it is capital that equals 62 and 26, a lot like comeback. When you think about the Atlanta Braves collapsing, think about the Atlanta Falcons and what they've done. Even when they were inside the 5-yard line against the Eagles in the playoffs, Atlanta teams choking a lot. 139 games have been played. 139, Nats miracle. President Donald John Trump. MLB was founded 115 years ago. Really funny how this has the making of a very coded, scripted comeback that makes sports what they are, which is the element of surprise. It makes them more entertaining. This is simply why this is going to be the case. And the Nationals are 4.5 games back. They have 3 left against the Philadelphia Phillies. If the Phillies are up in the division, then suddenly the Nationals deficit is going to even lower even more if the Phillies jump the Atlanta Braves in the division. Something to look out here. Something to look out here immensely. You know, 34 losses at home, it would be quite a miracle if they leave the series, if they end the series at 54 home losses. Miracle equals 34, and I think it is Harper. Okay, Harper equals 66. It is Braves collapse that equals 66. It is Harper and gematria that equals 39, and the Nationals' 39th home win against the Cubs. I would not doubt that for a minute. President Donald J. Trump and Freemason equaling 96 really point towards the Nationals winning the first game of the Chicago Cubs series. The Cubs got beat 11-1 the other day. If they lose against Milwaukee, then they may be at a down point of their season. But I am telling you guys that this scripted comeback can very well happen by the numbers. Don't doubt it for a second here. So this concludes the video here. The amount of time from today's date to the Puppet Master's birthday. Well, not the ultimate Puppet Master, but you sort of get my drift. You know, 6 weeks and 7 days, a lot like 7 weeks, 49 days. Washington, Braves collapse, 67, or Braves equaling 67. 49 days from this day to the start of the World Series. I think this crazy, chaotic moment of the NL East is going to happen right here. 5th NL East crown for Washington with Bryce Harper. Dragon, number 5 in the order. Vladimir Putin's a dragon. The amount of time from 9-5 to 10-7. Vladimir Putin's birthday. $33 days. The Nationals, federal, Masonry. Definitely this deficit's going to be 6.5 today. 7 weeks from now to the end of the World Series. They need 7 full games to win to come back from 6.5 point deficit. How Revelation, how the 49th team to win the World Series connects to Revelation is Philadelphia is one of the 7 churches of Revelation. The Nationals are 6.5 games left. They can reduce this deficit. So it's really about the timing of predicting this comeback. in here with the end of the Braves series against the Red Sox. Like I've said before, they have to travel to Arizona. San Fran is around 500. That is on the other end of the country. Will these woes for the Atlanta Braves continue on the road? I say it's definitely going to happen. Bryce Harper's gematria has everything to do with a scripted comeback. His birthday's 23 days before the start of the World Series. You know, the 10th day, the 10th month, and the 23rd day, that adds up to 33. So don't doubt it for a second that it can happen. The 10th month, the 16th day, Bryce Harper's birthday, 26, comeback 26. 2018, 48, 54, 64, Nationals 1 equals 64 in gematria. Bryce Harper's birthday, 13 days from his birthday to the end of the World Series. You know, here's why we have 13 colonies. 1 divided by 3 equals 33, right? 13 colonies. Not by coincidence, all by design, and the highest degree of masonry being 33. So October the 16th, Bryce Harper's birthday, the making of a coded and scripted comeback, the amount of time from September the 5th. You know, here's the thing about September the 5th. The 5th day of the 9th month is 5-9. Recall that it is stock market crash that equals 59. So that's very real here. This is why today's date is significant. That's why, you know, the game was 7-1 and they collapsed. They collapsed, people. The Braves collapsed. You are seeing scripted games right in front of your eyes. There's no other way around it. The Brewers to remain at 61 losses against the Chicago Cubs. Chicago Cubs in gematria. The Chicago Cubs equals 61 in gematria. That's not by coincidence. That's why the Brewers are going to win today's game. I mean, I'd be really shocked if the Brewers don't win the game today. Very scripted, indeed. I know how these games are. 42 days, a lot like Freemason equaling 42. You know, today's date too, October the 16th. September the 6th, that's 41 days. You know, 41 is the 13th prime. 13 days from Harper's birthday to the end of the World Series. And Harper's 85th RBIs to come back against St. Louis. Doesn't mean the Cards will collapse. See a lot of red teams in the playoffs this year. Arizona, St. Louis, Boston, and many others. And that may very well include Washington. Philadelphia is in the playoff run. The scripted comeback for the Nationals is going to begin today. You know, the manager of the Washington Nationals is Dave Martinez. We have Bryce Harper's gematria, and we have Dave Martinez, born on the 26th day of September. How many days from Dave Martinez, September 26th birthday, to Bryce Harper's birthday? That begs the question. Oops. His birthday's October the 16th. "21 days in his title, that equals 21. He's the winning manager. Dave Martinez. No, Dave Martinez, the Nationals, Donald Trump, right? Dave Martinez equals 138. What's going on here in the 57? Stay tuned, people. Stay tuned. It's on.